Welcome to the 611 Films YouTube channel. We're back in 99. We're talking about American Beauty today. My name is David Groves, and with me as always,
Neil McKay, what's up?
Neil McKay. All right, American Beauty, the Best Picture winner of 99. Has it had some issues with its star? with maybe its themes? Is it something? Can you still watch it?
I don't even know.
Has it been canceled? I think I saw it when it was on DVD. No, it wasn't DVD. It was probably on when VHS was dying off right before the Oscars. Because I think I rented it at a Hollywood Video or something during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
At, like my going into college freshman year, like winter break. I really liked it. I thought it was great. The acting is spectacular in this movie. The shot, I mean, the story, everything was great. With Kevin Spacey and with all that stuff, take the artist out of the art kind of thing for right this second. I still really love that movie.
I understand the whole thing with Kevin Spacey, but I mean, you can't deny the guy was a hell of a performer and he did really good movies. Like, he's got quite a resume. I'm not condoning anything he did, but I mean, I kind of, it's like you said, you got to kind of take that out of it and go, look, I can still appreciate the performance. I can still appreciate the movie and the character and all of these things. So I worked at a movie theater. That came out a little bit after I quit. So I left. So I wasn't working at the movie theater. So I think I had to go pay for a ticket at that point to go see it in the movie theater. But I did see the trailer, like when the trailers were, because you get to see all the trailers of all the movies that because I was a projectionist, so I would see everything. And that trailer, like back in 99, blew me away. And I was like, I got to see this movie. There's like a shot at the very end that kind of pans across all these things. And like, it's like a gunshot and Mina Suvari kind of turns. And I was just like, it gave me chills. I was like, this is so cool. And
yeah. Right.
The movie at the time blew me away. I do agree. I think I saw it a few years later and I was like, maybe it wasn't that. But I've seen it probably half a dozen times, overall. And as recently, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago or something. I think it still has a place. It still holds up. There's some relevancy to it. And I mean, I get it. Like, the times have changed and everything. And maybe, white suburbia isn't like as it was back then. It wouldn't really, there's not an audience for it now, but that movie was so well done with cinematography. There was like the framing and the symmetry of everything. And it was just such a gorgeous, beautiful, colorful movie. I mean, they call it American Beauty. I mean, it's beautiful. It was just a beautiful movie and it's just well edited and just so well done.
Well, I definitely think that we'll be talking about the middle class or white suburbia or that. I think there's going to be in future episodes with Office Space and Matrix, Fight Club. American Beauty definitely is thematically close to all of those, and we'll get into that. But I do think, even today, with the rise of TikTok and sort of this alpha male, sigma, you're a beta, this idea of, what you want in life and you got to go after it. And life isn't always about just sitting around and, with the Andrew Tate stuff and all that. I think there's something like you could see like Lester, Kevin Spacey's character, listening to like someone like a Andrew Tate or Gary Vaynerchuk or someone like in this day. Mm-hmm. And then having that feeling of, something needs to hit me. I mean, of course, it was a teenage girl that sparked his awakening or his getting out of the slump kind of thing. And that was what was really funny about it. Somebody like that dinner scene, like, I bought this blah, blah, blah car. I rule. And he slams his hand on the dinner table. That scene I love. Or he was on the couch. But there were so many funny moments with that movie, with him having that kind of awakening. And I thought it was really good. But again, with that idea or that theme of the movie, I think it's very, very, it's poignant still today, or at least it's coming back around.
Yeah, there was something I found. I mean, because that's 24 years ago, and I think I was 21 when that came out.
Hmm.
And so now I'm almost 45. So, but at the time, I remember just that monologue being, wow, like, I mean, this guy's a middle aged guy. And I mean, it ends with like, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but you will someday. And I just remember
Yeah.
that being like, wow, I was blown away with that monologue. It was so good, like the bookend of the story. And, he had this thing where he was like, I mean, I was young and stupid. I didn't know anything, but like I had my whole life ahead of me. And I was like, wow. And now that I'm older, I can see that point of view of like being middle aged and going, my God, if I could have that back, that youth, like the way things were. So I think that
Hmm.
does. I mean, it spoke to me then as a young man, and it speaks to me now. So it's like I think that, yeah, for sure, they captured
Yeah,
that
I think
very
it holds
well.
up in that thematic, and I think a lot of people do have that. Whether you want to call it that midlife crisis or that lost youth feeling, or with the male like sort of feeling of did I do the best I could or what am I doing? And again, it's not for everybody, but I do think that's such a common theme, like even in just in life. It's something that I think this movie again with the issues with Kevin Spacey, could it be made today or could that be something? I mean, with the current studio, probably not. It probably would never get made.
I, I will say this. I think one of the flaws that it had, and it would definitely, and I'd be interested to see if they did a story like that now. But I think they did kind of a disservice to the whole Annette Bening timeline in that she was kind of like a part of it when it should have been a little bit more equal because she was
Mm,
also going through the same frustrations with
sure,
life and parenthood
absolutely.
and everything like that. And they kind of, she was just like a side note, and it was more about the Lester Burnham character, and it was like, no, she had some pretty interesting stuff going on and how she dealt with things and stuff like that. So, and I mean, she was nominated for an Academy Award, but it just
Right.
still felt like that old Hollywood where like, she's the girl, she's the supporting, she's not really like,
Riffing on that, look, everyone deep diving into that whole thing, everyone had their issue. The daughter
mm,
was still kind of, I don't know my place. I don't know. I don't really like my parents. I don't know who they are really anymore.
yeah,
Mina Suvari's character of I'm kind of the sex pot, but I've never done anything, but I don't know where I'm at as an adolescent. Wes Bentley's character, who I guess he was sort of that movie's shepherd of you just gotta kind of roll with things, if you will.
yeah. And a quick
But
little note on him, I thought he was going to be a megastar, and it never like panned. I mean, he got a role in Hunger Games, but he was never really like a big star, and I was shocked because I thought he was going to be like
well,
on
he
that.
I mean, I guess he has had like smaller roles. But he's pretty big on Yellowstone now. I don't know what Mina Savari's done of late. Thora Birch, I mean, she had a kind of a thing on Walking Dead a couple years ago, seasons ago.
She did like Ghost World with Scarlett Johansson, and then I didn't even know she was on Walking Dead. I thought she
Oh
was
yeah,
kind of like
great
but
movie. But wait, was that 99 or was that
yeah.
98
No, Ghost World. No, that was like a few years later,
or 2000?
2004, I think.
We won't be
Maybe no.
covering it. I don't know if the studios would actually see something like this ever coming about. Again, with the downfall of possibly all these other films, indie films coming back up. Again, it was a cool idea for a bigger movie to explore that those themes. I would say, which I'd love to
Yeah.
see again in the future. Maybe not exactly like American Beauty, but
Hmm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a prime example of like what was pushing the needle back then, and that was great at the time because it was not a traditional like Academy Award winning movie. It was like,
Right,
yeah, it was
for sure.
this is wildly different. So that's why it was like refreshing and stuff. I mean, yeah, some stuff is a little outdated, obviously the Kevin Spacey stuff,
Sure,
but I still think it holds up. I still think it's a
I
great
think it
film,
holds
and I
up
would
too.
still put it in my I think I'd still put it in my top 10 best movies that I've ever seen. So
Okay, cool. Very, very cool. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Back in 99 American Beauty. See you again on the next one.